Long, long ago, before Snow White was born, there lived in a kingdom a powerful and beautiful queen. This queen was known throughout the land for her beauty and charm, but also for her greed and pride. She possessed a magic mirror that would tell her she was the fairest in the land, and this brought her immense joy. Every day, she would stand before it and ask, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" And the mirror would always reply, "You are beautiful, Queen, but Snow White is even fairer still." The queen couldn't bear to hear that someone might be more beautiful than she was. Snow White was a young girl with skin as white as snow, cheeks as rosy as apples, and hair as black as ebony. Her beauty was irresistible, and she became the target of the queen's envy. One day, the queen couldn't stand Snow White's beauty any longer and decided she must be eliminated. She ordered her huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. However, the huntsman couldn't bring himself to do it and allowed Snow White to escape deep into the dark woods. Snow White found herself alone in the heart of the forest, seemingly lost. But soon, she stumbled upon a small cottage that belonged to 7 dwarfs. The dwarfs were very friendly and allowed Snow White to stay with them. Every day, they would venture into the mountains to work, and Snow White helped with the chores, cleaning and cooking. Meanwhile, the queen learned that Snow White was alive and decided to find her and get rid of her once and for all. She concocted a cunning plan and disguised herself as an old woman. Carrying a basket of beautiful apples, she made her way to the dwarf's cottage. "Apples so sweet and juicy," said the old woman, offering Snow White one of the fruits. Snow White, naive and kind-hearted, accepted the apple and took a bite. However, the apple was poisoned. Snow White immediately fell into a deep sleep that appeared to be death. The queen, believing Snow White was dead, was content. But the dwarfs, who returned from work, were devastated. They placed Snow White in a glass coffin and visited her every day, mourning her apparent demise. Sometime later, a young prince arrived in the forest and fell in love with Snow White at first sight. When he saw the beautiful girl in the coffin, he kissed her on the cheek. This kiss broke the curse of the poisoned apple, and Snow White woke up from her slumber. The prince and Snow White fell in love instantly and decided to live happily ever after. The queen, upon learning of Snow White's awakening, fled to avoid punishment for her wickedness. And so, Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, their love serving as an example for all.